A Shokhan queen serves no man.
I enjoy the close.
Welcome to another exciting episode from Marvelous Videos. I'm your host, Tia Ayer. A 1992 release from Midway Games launched the Mortal Kombat video game franchise in the United States. Many action-adventure games were released as sequels to the first game. A card game and a comic book series are also included. Early in the 1990s, movie producer Larry Kasanoff obtained a license for the game's rights and created the first installment in the franchise. Mortal Kombat 3 marked Sheeva's debut as a playable character in the Mortal Kombat fighting game series. She is a Shokhan warrior and was also the first playable Shokhan character of the franchise. Due to a popular request for the playable rendition of Goro, she was included in the series. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video to learn more about Sheeva. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Surprise. Enemies should be met head-on.
Inspiration for Sheeva. The character of Sheeva is based on Lord Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction. She also bears a resemblance to another Hindu goddess, Goddess Kali, the consort of Lord Shiva with her 4 arms.
That was true once, but now there is a better way to lead.
Sheeva, from the Mortal Kombat games. Sheeva is a member of an ancient race called the Shokhan. The Shokhan are enormous animals with strength much more than that of humans. They resemble large, muscular humans with dragon-like eyes, forked tongues that resemble lizards, reptilian scales, 4 arms with only 3 digits on each hand, black fingernails, and only 2 toes on each foot. Also with black toenails. They are a hybrid species that combines the traits of dragons and outworlders. Kitaro and the other Shokhan of the tiger class have tiger-like stripes, hair, whiskers, and other feline characteristics. Their culture and society are ruled by a monarchy, with a king and queen who also speak for Khatan and Shokhan while controlling their people. A prince who is next in line to the throne is often their heir. Multiple successors to the throne must compete with one another and prove their ruthlessness by battling to the death. As shown in Mortal Kombat, the journey begins. The winner then assumes the role of the reigning crown prince and will ultimately succeed to the throne. In addition, giving the king a gift on a specific day was traditional. One rule among the Shokhan supersedes all others. The victor is always the strongest and most vicious. In the Shokhan race, kindness is not permitted. The regal Draco lineage and the lower-class tiger lineage are 2 of at least 2 unique Shokhan racial varieties that have been recognized. Kintaro is of the tiger bloodline, whereas Goro and Sheeva are Dracos. For ages, the Shokhan devotedly served Shao Kahn, the Khan of the Outworld. In Khan's dominion, one of their types was constantly employed in a prominent position. The Centaurians would typically compete with them for this position, but they held it for many generations. The Shokhan were amongst the most opulent inhabitants of the Outworld because of Prince Goro's tenure. As Mortal Kombat's grand champion, they continued to enjoy a high social standing among the populace and were Shao Kahn's most favored combatants. In the original timeline, Sheeva, a woman, was among the most vicious Shokhan fighters to catch Khan's eye. Sheeva was chosen to be Queen Sindel's protector after Shao Kahn resurrected her as the first step in his invasion of Earthrealm. However, Sheeva devoted a mistrust of Khan after he chose Mataro, a Centaurian, to command his extermination squads. Given the long-standing animosity between the Shokhan and Centaur races, this was a slight against them. Sheeva fought anyone who tried to approach Sindel during the ensuing conflicts. Jade and the rebellious Princess Kitana confronted her after she had vanquished innumerable foes. They had to battle Sheeva before they could liberate Sindel from Khan's enchantment. Her raw power was insufficient to overcome these 2 expert warriors. Kitana and Jade knocked Sheeva to the ground before rushing to confront Sindel. Sheeva fled to Outworld in shame after her defeat. The Shokhans had been betrayed by Shao Kahn, and when she arrived, she was horrified to discover that he had initiated an attack against them. In the battle against Khan's troops, she joined her fellow brethren. Being vastly outnumbered, the Shokhans had little chance of success. Shao Kahn vanquished Kung Lao, but Sheeva made the decision to get revenge on her adversary, Mataro, before Liu Kang, the champion of Earth, did. Infiltrating Khan's castle on Earth with Sheeva, She discovered that Kano, a friend from the Earth Realm, had been healed by Mataro. She sneakily went up to Kano and made him a bargain, asking him to help her kill their emperor, Shokhan. Kano consented, and she offered to pay him in rare diamonds taken from Kutan's great mines. Sheeva was patiently waiting in the shadows. Mataro came to the palace later to report to Shokhan. Sheeva assaulted the unwary Centaurian as Kano watched from his cell. After a painful struggle, she assaulted Mataro and believed that she had killed him. Mataro escaped with Sheeva's strike, of which she was unaware. Sheeva then went to confront Shokhan. Khan was instructed to wait for Kano's signal while he promised to divert him. By convincing Khan that Sheeva had already slain Mataro and was preparing to kill him, Kano betrayed Sheeva. Sheeva approached the throne room, where she and Khan would shortly clash once Kano gave the signal. She was swiftly and easily grabbed by Khan, who then murdered her by repeatedly slashing her in the chest with his sword. Sheeva, Kintaro, Havoc, and a legion of demons can be seen in Shinnok's spire in the Nether Realm. They are all ostensibly trying to topple Shinnok's authority. Shinnok later explains that to Sheeva that Taven battled an illusion that everything had been planned as a test for Taven. Raicho was knocked from the pyramid by the actual Sheeva, who fought in the Battle of Armageddon. She was stopped from ascending to the pyramid from Argus by Nightwolf, who shot an arrow at her, and Cyrax, who jumped on her back and then afterwards launched into the air. Sheeva then successfully fends off Nightwolf and Ermac until Kenshi kills her. In the present time, Sheeva initially appears when she and Baraka tell Cyrax that Lin Kuei's assistance is no longer needed, and then assault him. Cyrax destroys both of them in separate encounters, but Sheeva remains visible. In the dead pool, Sheeva is later seen defending Sonya Blade. During this conversation, she tells Sonya that she wouldn't be imprisoned if she hadn't dishonored herself by attempting to flee. After taking down Sheeva, Jax Briggs releases Sonya. Sheeva later makes a second appearance, this time defending Kitana, where Jade once more vanquishes her. When they attempt to intercept Liu Kang and Kung Lao, Sheeva is once more seen with Noob Saibot. Liu Kang is fought by Sheeva, while Kung Lao fights Noob and Goro. She is defeated by Liu Kang. Sheeva is shown discussing with Shokhan's lieutenants who should take over as the next ruler of the Outworld after Khan is defeated. Sheeva is eager to make a respectful bow when Shao Kahn approaches. Later on, Sheeva participates in the conquest of Earthrealm. Following Cyber, Subloss, Zero's Sheeva challenges Cabal because she thinks Cabal has deceived Lin Kuei. Cabal tells her that he is not a cyborg in spite of his mask. Before defeating her in combat, Sheeva, who had previously defeated Gorbak in a battle royal for the Shokhan throne, took over as her people's monarch after Gorbak's death. Sheeva accompanied Kotal Khan to Shang Tsung's island on board the Shokhan. After the carnage at Zukara, Sheeva decides against having the Shokhan participate in the fight since she doesn't want to squander their lives. Sheeva bets her coin on Kotal and permits the Shokhan to make bets on the conflict between Kotal and Riko. Sheeva informs Kintaro that while she will uphold their promise to Kotal to aid him in killing Riko and Melina, she wonders whether the Shokhan could decide to revenge the Emperor's passing instead. Sheeva becomes outraged and pulls her sword in a menacing manner, and when she discovers that Kintaro disobeyed her orders and sent spies to Shang Tsung's island, Sheeva decides against killing Kintaro because of the Shokhan's diminished numbers following the Battle of Zunkara. Sheeva places her blade in front of Kintaro and orders him to bear the scout's death on his conscience after learning from one of the Shokhan that the scout ship has returned with their mutilated bodies. Sheeva soon recognizes what is occurring and commands everyone to prepare for impact when she asks a Shokhan with scope to explain what is happening on the beach and discovers someone is clutching something sparkly, a necklace that is growing brighter and brighter. But it's already too late. A bomb hits the ship and it ignites the explosive it is transporting. After escaping and saving Kintaro, Sheeva tells him to commemorate the occasion and says she will give him orders to battle once they reach the island. Sheeva finds a group of Red Dragon troops considering setting a body on fire after arriving at the island's coast. The soldiers are abruptly assaulted and consumed by a swarm of bees swarming from the body as she and Kintaro creep up on them and prepare to fight. Devora, who addresses the Shokhan impolitely, emerges when the bees combine to expose her. Sheeva joins Kintaro and the other warriors with Kotal Khan and Devora, taking on Havoc's Blood Code enslaved champions. As Jackie Briggs and Casey Cage are ambushing Kintaro, Sheeva asks him if this is the great battle that he longed for while simultaneously fighting Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage, easily avoiding their blows. When Kintaro shouted to his queen in disbelief at the might of his opponents, Sheeva commanded him to shatter them by stomping on Johnny and tossing him into a nearby pillar. She then informed Kintaro that blood magic was strengthening themselves while reminding him that he was a Shokhan. Sheeva would then shout out in astonishment for her champion as she watched in terror as Sonya, who had been possessed, tore off Kintaro's skull. Sheeva knelt beside Kintaro's body in mourning. As soon as those under Havoc's captivity were let free, Sheeva rebuked Sonya Blade for her behavior and instructed her to stop talking, adding that Kintaro had died like a true warrior. In the midst of the conflict between Kotal Khan and Shokhan for control of Outworld, Sheeva, who is still the current queen of the Shokhan, is contacted by a time-displaced Kitana. Although Sheeva concedes that Shokhan fared considerably better under Kotal's leadership than it was under Shokhan's, she chooses not to back one Khan over the other, since it was very early to predict who would eventually prevail. Sheeva admires Kitana's fervent appeal, but is unpersuaded. When Kitana hears of Kotal Khan's arrest in the Tarkatan camp, Liu Kang and Kung Lao arrive to notify her. Standing up from her throne, Sheeva declares that the Shokhan wouldn't come to assist a Khan in shackles. Even though Kitana claimed that they could win with the help of the Earth Realm, Sheeva was empathetic that there would be no triumph without the Tarkatans, informing Kitana that they could be persuaded to join Kotal. It would be profitable to do so. Then Kitana made a promise to Sheeva that she would go back and secure the Shokhan at Kotal's side alongside with the Tarkatans. As they advanced to the Colosseum to prevent Kotal Khan from being put to death, Kitana eventually persuades Baraka and the Tarkatans, Sheeva, and the Shokhan to join her. Kitana also wins over the Shokhan. After Kitana beat Shokhan, Sheeva and Baraka went to the disabled Kotal Khan and apologized for not doing more for their people. She also saw Kotal handling the mantle of Khan to Kitana. Sheeva and the Shokhan helped storm Chronicles' keep alongside Baraka, Kitana, and the Tarkatans, but Chronicles' temporal reversal also harmed Sheeva. Sheeva helps Fujin, Nightwolf, and Shang Tsung go to the Soul Chamber in Aftermath so that they may resurrect Sindel. There they run across Iran Black, Baraka, and the swarm of Tarkatan warriors. Unfortunately, after Shang Tsung unintentionally knocks a Tarkatan into the dead pool, a brawl breaks out between the two parties, despite efforts to explain the circumstances to Baraka and Aaron Black and younger Jade. She also stops Kitana Khan from interfering in the resurrection of Sindel by Shang Tsung and Fujin, as well as the recovered Kotal. The Shokhan brethren occasionally join forces with Shao Kahn and Sindel to oppose Kitana. After Sheeva learns Sindel's true intentions, restore Shao Kahn and remove Kitana from power after Shang Tsung's team succeeds in recovering Raiden's crown. Despite Sheeva's best efforts, Sindel eventually defeats and knocks out the unconscious Sheeva.
Both have died in my timeline. I knew they were the weaker links.
What makes Sheeva so powerful? Sheeva is incredibly strong since she is a Shokhan. She still possesses the standard Shokhan skills of casting fireballs and using the teleport stomp. But unlike Goro and Kintaro, two other Shokhan fighters, she may utilize the latter to simply stomp the ground and deal damage without teleporting. The fact that Sheeva's fireballs may knock opponents to the ground rather than just knocking them back suggests that Sheeva's fireballs are more potent than those or other characters as seen in Armageddon.
That's the last of Khan's little machines.
Well done, Sheeva.
Sheeva's appearance in other media. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the second Mortal Kombat film, features Sheeva, whom Margene Holden portrays. She was to be involved in a lengthy combat sequence with Raiden in the shooting screenplay, but it was cut from the final product. Instead, she was crushed by a collapsing cage as she was ready to face Liu Kang and Kitana in Shokhan's royal room. Although Sheeva did appear in other movie parts, her performance was generally forgettable. A brief argument with Motaro was the only combat scene that she had. The fact that she was Sindel's personal protector, which she cites to Khan in her personal recommendation for him to appoint her as commander of his extermination squads, was acknowledged in the film. In a minor part in the animated series, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, Sheeva has a deep-seated animosity for Raiden that seems to be shared by him. She used the term darlings to describe her rivals. She has Don Lewis as her voice.
Heartbreaker.
I'll break your bones, your heart I'll crush.
Marvelous verdict. Sheeva is a nuanced character who cannot be categorized as either good or bad. Sheeva's primary allegiance is to the Shokhan race. Even if she has obediently served Shokhan in the past, it has been demonstrated that if Shokhan threatens her people, Sheeva will not think twice about betraying him. She has always frequently collaborated with the Earthrealmers. She is often regarded as a neutral character because of these factors. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
No. We must present this to Kitana Khan.
Respectfully, Your Highness.